Hi everybody, this is Janet Wright, and this is an energy healing recap video where I tell you what I did in yesterday's group energy healing, why I did it, and I direct you to some super cool walkthrough videos so that you can try one or some or all of the healing techniques on yourself. So yesterday was Sunday, April 15th, 2018, and so this is, of course, a triplet group energy healing set. So it's a set of 3 healings on Friday, Sunday, and Tuesday. So yesterday was the second in the set of 3 healings. And the theme of this triplet group energy healing set is fun emotions and senses. And the thing is, the point of fun emotions and senses is you don't want to just have one fun day and then no more fun days for like 3 months, you know? You want to have consistently more and more lighter emotions and more enjoyable emotions and sensory experiences. Consistency is really the key, and to get that consistent lighter experience, you need to, really bring out some self-mastery. And so the angels decided to have me work with people on their on highly simplified versions of energy healing for 2 traditional Chinese medicine meridians in this set, of course. So the Friday healing videos, which I already made and you can watch, they're awesome. So we worked with these 2 meridians in the Friday healing and in those videos. And for abbreviations, I explain it better in those videos, but for abbreviations, this meridian, the external part of this meridian, it goes up here and arches over and ends in the roof of the mouth, like right there. So it goes up like this, just up the spine, along the spine, and then ends in the roof of the mouth. So that is abbreviated GV because it's called the governing vessel meridian. Governing vessel meridian. And then we did the front one, which, I'm calling the front one for short, but it starts just behind the genitals, really down here, you're in there, and then it comes out. So this is the external portion of the CV meridian, or the conception vessel meridian. So again, it goes there and it goes all the way up. And again, just up the midline, like that. And then there are internal portions of that meridian, but for simplicity, the angels really did want me to only walk people through visualizing and imagining and, working with the external portions of both those meridians. So anyway, on Friday, we moved out of resistance in those 2 meridians, and that is something that you can keep working over time for sure. And, to the extent that is healthy and gentle for you to do each time. But Sunday, we did more of that. We built upon that. We still worked with those same 2 meridians, the external portions of the GV meridian, and then this CV meridian. But in a sort of like a part 2 way. So what I noticed when I was, feedback is really important to me, always in healings, in these triplet set healings, but particularly if there's any new technique at all, but really always too. But obviously working with these meridians, for 71 people is a new experience for me, and so the feedback was great, very useful. And I when I analyzed it, most people had fantastic experiences. They're like, "Wow, that was great, Janet," And then, but some people have very strange, sort of odd experiences. Like one person was dizzy not for a long period of time, but one person felt dizzy. One person who had had a lot of emotional trauma recently, not related to the healing, she actually got nauseous. So there were some interesting things, and I looked, and there were other people that, you know, felt fine, but I could tell they needed more help. I could just tell. So anyway, judging from people's feedback and also my observations and the angels and what they were telling me, that's how Sunday's healing was created. So Sunday's healing, it worked more on these two meridians, as I said, but it looked at helping people to have this energy flow be more enhanced, be safer, and more focused. Because there's this term which, you know, I don't know that there's anything like it in Chinese medicine, like literally traditional Chinese medicine, as opposed to Janet and the Angels simplified idiot-proof version. But what I was looking at, what the angels were showing me is that, okay, like let's say this is a meridian, right? You know, one of those meridians, the front one or the back one that we're using, right? So this is the energy flow direction, it goes up, but you can have fraying, okay? So fraying is, it's just my made up term. Well, made up, it's a term that the angels seem to be showing me, and I was like, should we call it fraying? And they're like, yeah, that's great. So it's fraying, that's what we're calling it. So as if like, you know, a rope can have fraying, you know, where like little threads of it come off. And so it's like that. So here's the normal meridian flow, and then here's a part where there's some fraying. Okay, and here's another part where there's some fraying. And so it just looks like it's like a little bit less focused, the energy flow there, it's a little more scattered. And so what happens is you can get people, it's not gonna be your average person though, for sure. You know, at first I thought it was pretty rare for someone to chord your meridian directly, but within the 71 participants, and then some YouTube commenters that are not participants in this healing, I learned that it's not as rare as I thought it was for people to chord these meridians directly. Maybe just these two meridians, because they are the most, you know, they're sort of in charge of the other meridians in a way. So these two meridians that we're working, the external parts of these two meridians we're working are, you know, like the back one is sort of a big deal for your yang, your ability to protect yourself and stand up for yourself and defend yourself. And then the front one is a big deal for your yin, your ability to nourish yourself and nurture yourself. And and sort of, you know, nurture your vulnerabilities. So anyway, I needed to help people in the healing with those frayed areas, because where there's fraying, that's where people can chord in. And also you could get like a being or a little spirit or an entity, whatever you want to call it. You know, it's the same words. All three words mean the same thing. It's a little spirit that doesn't belong in your energy field, obviously. You're the only spirit that belongs in your energy field. But you can get a little spirit that may attach itself to a frayed area. I sort of imagine it like, I don't know if you remember those in the 80s, there were these weird like little koala bears that you could get that sort of clipped onto your pencil. They were like little tiny stuffed animals that just clipped on to the pencil. I sort of imagine it like that. You can have a being that just sort of clips itself onto one of the frayed areas of your meridian. And so the underlying issue is really the fraying. You know, the surface issue is, okay, let's get rid of the beings, let's get rid of the chords, which is fairly easy to do. And I'll walk you through that in the walkthrough video that I'm about to make, that I will release at the same time. And this video will flow right into that if you're listening with the playlist. So if you have chords or beings here, it might make this feel really tight, or it might actually give you some nausea. It might make you more anxious. Because again, this one is more vulnerability, this one yin, and so the more flowing and whole it is, you just feel this sense of like, oh, I'm okay, I'm safe, you know. And this one, and again, I'm not disclaimer, you know, TCM practitioners are like the gurus on, you know, yin and yang stuff, so forgive me if I'm, you know, taking little licenses. But anyway, this one, the GV one, that's more your yang. You're taking care of yourself energy of like protective, you know. So like one of the people who are getting the healing, she took much better care of herself after the Friday healing. And I could see it was because she got much more flow and presence here because she cleared the resistance. And so more of her spirit was in here. So there was a lot stronger flow. So she like cleared out the energy of her home. She did like a blessing for her living space, you know, and she just kind of took care of herself, you know, just cool. It's basically a modification of the blanket exercise, which I used to talk about a long time ago. It's sort of a blanket exercise, but an easy version where you just, you know, get rid of burdens that are making your emotions too heavy. And then you call back energy from wherever it went, you know, you just call it back to you of fun emotions and sensory enjoyment. So that would be a nice, hopefully quick, but very beginner friendly walkthrough, because that is how we ended Sunday's healing. Oh, and at the start of the Sunday healing, I did do a clean out, but it wasn't necessary to do as in-depth a clean out as I did at the beginning of the Friday healing. So we didn't do the gold energy bottle brush technique in the Sunday healing. We did an earth energy soak, which is really soothing. I'll recommend a video that you know walks you through all this in a sec, but we did an earth energy soak, which is centering and comforting, and we did a lot of DGS. I did for people DGS, which is Divine Gold Sandstorm, which is that like this little bits of gold healing energy spinning around. That it's really soothing, but it gets stuff out of you. It knocks out like energy that's not yours and blocked energy out of your grounding and also your whole aura and your chakras. And we did a small amount of aura repair. We didn't need to do too much. Some people needed it, but most people didn't. So I just did a touch of that. So that's pretty much it. So I think, you know, I may call the theme of this Sunday healing enhancing the flow, reducing fraying for the CV and GV meridians, but we'll see what I end up calling it. You'll know by now in the title. Again, I really appreciate everybody's surveys. They are very important to this process. And comments to the video too. I would really love to know how this experience is for you. To work with your GV and your CV meridians, and you know, anything you want to say, or if you just want to give it a thumbs up so that other people see it, that would be nice. All right, and of course, stay tuned for the Tuesday healing, and if you're not a participant, stay tuned for the Tuesday videos, and those should be fun. Hopefully we're going to be able to, you know, pep things up a little, lighten things up a little, because this GV and CV meridians, I mean, most people felt amazing and fantastic with it. But I think there was a small percentage of people relatively that, you know, they got so much more present with the Friday and Sunday healings of working these meridians, that then they were aware of imbalances that they've had all along in these meridians. And so it's kind of a weird experience. Like, they're way more present, but now they feel this tightness here, which they've had their whole lives, but you know, now they feel it, you know? So, hopefully, we'll see what the angels have me do on Tuesday, but hopefully it'll be some energy that just makes you feel just, you know, lighter and like you're having a great time. Because now that we got the stability, you know, techniques, you know, from working with this stuff, you know, and, you know, I really, I'm gonna keep working these techniques, and you'll see in the walkthrough video that I'm about to do, I'm gonna work on myself as I do the walkthrough video. So, but anyway, these techniques will really help you be like, you know, really rock solid, stable, much more. But then hopefully Tuesday, we'll just be able to bring in some fun energy. I mean, we have been already, but I want more. More lightness. I mean, you know, you gotta have the stability though, because if you don't have the stability, I mean, unfortunately, this world has a lot of triggers and pressures, and so you gotta have, you know, you gotta be kind of, you gotta be really you gotta be kind of a powerhouse, and then, you know, in order to consistently have fun. So, alrighty. So I hope this all makes sense. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're a participant in the healing, you know, this is fun. This is a great set. I'm so glad you're a part of it. Well, if you're gonna watch more, then let's do the walkthrough video of the Sunday healing coming up just in a moment. Bye.